Oh. I don't think, have I heard this song?
I hope so. It's a goodie.
Oh. Okay, I don't think I have.
Well, you need to freshen up your repertoire.
I don't know. I've seen
music.
this Chris guy, and I think y'all are about the same age, so.
Okay. I don't really know why we have to continue to discuss age.
You know what? I also thought about this, too. I'm like, I have to be better. I think everybody knows now.
Well, that
you could be my mom.
True story. And we add listeners every day.
Yeah.
So it's fine if we continue to talk about rolling in on 50. It's not a big deal. I'm not nervous at all. Yeah.
Today's going to be good.
It is going to be good.
It's going to be great. It's going to be so good.
I don't know if we've ever had a guest that both of us separately were approached by someone to have them on.
Yep.
That's kind of fun.
Yep. And you know what's funny, though? Weren't we approached by like the same people, different?
Yes.
One partner, one partner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like how they split that up, though.
Yes, they're like, let's do this as a team.
Yeah.
They had a game plan. Break.
Yeah, I think Hayley likes you, Carrie.
Yes.
So you go talk to her.
And Jimmy, you're usually at the donut shop, so go ahead and get Lena while she's slinging donuts.
That's good. That was good timing, though, on their path. They're on their half.
Here we are again.
Yeah, another episode of Coaching, Caffeine, and Comedy, and I'm your host, Hayley Kobza.
And I'm still Lena.
So before we call Chris Gardner to the phone, just have a few things. So first and foremost, have you ever watched Steel Magnolias, the TV show on Netflix?
So good.
So good. And
speaking of friendship.
Yeah.
Show about
exactly.
friendship. Yes.
I mean, it's a little cheesy. We were talking about it in the office, kind of cheesy Hallmark movie, but just a good show.
Yeah.
But what a perfect world that three best girlfriends can meet up every week to have a margarita.
Yeah, I kind of want to live in that world.
So in saying, huge shout out to El Porto. And I feel like I'm going to start that up with my group of women.
You go, girl.
That would be you. So we'll have to.
Let's go, girl.
So like I said, in the perfect time, or in the perfect world that we all have a spare day.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, these women get to go have margaritas every week.
Yep.
What are they doing with their children?
Well,
I have
they
all
don't
these
have,
questions.
They don't have any small children.
They do. The one has a small child.
No, who?
Their beautiful redhead.
They're okay. She's like school aged.
Yeah,
like nobody's changing diapers or anything or warming up bottles.
But it's such a good show.
It is good.
It's so good.
I haven't started the new season, so don't ruin anything for me.
Okay, I won't. But
but speaking of good shows, though, you just watched a really. We can't even go there today. We'll go there another time.
Okay. All right.
Great movie, which I'm going to watch. So maybe we'll talk about it after.
Yes. Okay. Sounds good. So go so speaking of margaritas, huge shout out to our sponsors, El Porto, Mexican restaurant here in McCook, Nebraska, right here on Norris Street. Everybody needs to go go over there.
So amazing. And Jolt and Joe's on B Street.
Yep.
If you need a hot or cold beverage, probably cold at this time of the year, they are your place.
Yeah. And
convenient drive-through.
I don't know the street that Wild Ass Soap is on, but it's out there to the northeast corner. Like you
towards
have to
Calabria.
I was going to say Calabria Estates or something's out there. They're right there on the left-hand side before you turn in that way. You can't miss it.
My birthday is in August. I need some people to do some shopping.
Oh, when's your birthday?
August 17th. The fact that you had to ask.
I'm trying to think when this is going to air. It's probably going to.
Well, my birthday's probably over, so no one's going to do any shopping.
All right,
so
August 16th?
17th.
So gosh. Okay, I'm just going to write it down. August 17th, everybody.
Yep.
Lena's.
Just send me a belated because this probably isn't airing until October.
Right. Okay, so we're going to call on our guest today. We're going to have Chris Gardner. I believe he's from Colby. He used to be a football coach, and I think now he's just a retired comedian.
There we go.
It's kind of how somebody told him
funny
about
bones
me.
Bringing, yeah.
So we'll see if he's funny or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt it, but
nope.
We're funny.
True.
And he's hosting an event here.
I know, and we're going to go.
Yes. Give him a call. Oh, sorry. Ring.
Hello.
Hi.
Chris, welcome.
Hi there. How are you ladies?
Oh, just great. Okay, just so you know these beautiful voices, I'm Hayley.
And I'm Lena.
Hi, Hayley.
Hi.
And Lena.
Yes.
Yes. I actually got to meet Chris here last week.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
In public, and I probably shouldn't have been in public. But
That's
it's
exactly.
good. Yes.
Exactly. That's all we're going to talk about, Chris.
There we go.
Yeah. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Real nice. Yeah.
Yep. Grand opening, grand closing.
Yes.
Good job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. So have you ever listened to any of our episodes?
No, I have not.
Oh,
and
good
I'm
for
ashamed
you.
to say that.
Well,
yeah.
should be.
Yeah. Well, now you're going to get embarrassed because we always
you
like to
go.
do these fun little warm-ups before we get to the nitty and gritty of this. So what we're going to do, Lena's going to give you a timer.
Yep. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. And
Okay.
she's going to give you a letter. And then within that 30 seconds, you need to come up with 15 words that start with that letter. It cannot be a place, like a city name, and it can't be the name of a person. So it has to be.
Holy cow. Okay.
It's
All
simple.
right.
It's simple.
All right.
Get-
Yeah.
Get buckled up and get your life together. Are you ready, Chris?
Yep. Yeah.
The letter is A.
Apple.
1. The time is going.
30 seconds. Time is running.
Down to 20.
Can't be a city or a place. Can you? Jeez. Okay. Well, I mean, apple, asshole.
Okay.
2.
Aquatic.
Ooh,
How about that?
3.
That's good. 3.
A lot.
Oh, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
That's your
man.
time.
Whoa.
Gosh.
Three.
Yikes.
Three.
Man.
Letter A. Three.
How do you come up with like a last minute football play? So
Yeah.
what's that? 3?
Yep,
3?
3.
Three.
Kind
Three.
of.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
the
right
good
up there.
thing is, Chris, the rest of the podcast has to go better. I mean,
Yes.
it's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's only going to go up from here.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. Now you guys know what you're dealing with. Yeah, it could be
That's a
long,
good point.
Could be a long podcast.
That's a very good point. Yeah. We're only 7 minutes in. We're about to cut it short.
Yep,
Okay, Chris.
exactly.
Right, yeah.
So rumor has it on the streets here that you're going to be in McCook August 11th, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm super pumped.
Awesome.
Good.
And what are you coming for? Like you coming to
So-
eat at Max or what's going
Yeah.
on?
No, I like that, and I like the loop. That's what it's called,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
very nice. Yep.
Yeah, the loop is good. So when I first took the job in Colby,
Is the swim instructor, right? Aquatics?
yes, yeah,
okay.
aquatics, yes, swimming, diving, and you met me, so you know.
Yeah, I definitely know you're a really good diver.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, cannonball. But so I no one like I was the 4th head coach in 4 years.
Okay, for those of you that don't
and-
know, because he's not getting it, he was a football coach. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Football coach, and they didn't. I don't know. It was time to bring people in to talk about football, and you know what? I did a thing with moms because moms are the kids' biggest fans, and
Yes.
so I just did a thing with moms about let's talk about football. What do you want to know? Here's what we do. Here's how I'm going to take care of your kids, that kind of stuff, and they loved it. And then it kind of grew from there. So I had a person in McCook, a good friend of mine, Jim Roberts, called and said, "Hey, remember when you used to do that?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want to do it again?" I was like, "Sure. That sounds fun. Any chance I get to talk football, I have a good time." So that's why I'm coming to McCook, to talk a little football with the moms.
Hey,
Very nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
So what are you
Yeah.
going to talk about within this time? Is this like a 10-minute, we're going to go over definitions and everyone's going to do a quiz, or what's it entail?
It's going to be, and I talked to the one of the coaches in McCook, and it's just going to be, to start with general football stuff, like, just this is this, this is what the offense looks like, this is what the defense looks like. I want to talk about certain plays and certain lineups, and just so when they can look out on a field, hopefully they can understand what they're looking at. And most of them, some of them probably already do, but some of them might not. And then at the end, I kind of like to give them things that they can throw out there, especially when around the guys, when the guys start talking football. I like to give them things they can throw out there that, they're like, "Oh, yeah, good. Like, I never thought you would say that, like, well, I don't know. That coverage to me lends like it should have been run. I don't know why they passed it there." Just certain generalizations that they can just throw out there to in the middle of a game. And people are like, "Oh, that's interesting." Buzzwords.
I like that.
So
I need that in like a few sports.
Golf,
Yeah.
for one. You need that in golf.
Golf, pickleball,
Right.
Pickleball. Yep.
Pickleball.
Yes.
wrestling.
What?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
pickleball.
Chris,
It is an up and coming
is. It's
thing,
huge.
Chris. You better get your life together and get a racket.
my mother is a
Wow.
world champion
Yeah. Not quite
I'm not
world.
even kidding. Oh,
Listen,
U.S. She's an American champion.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
I know 3 people that have played pickleball this summer that broke a wrist,
what?
broke an ankle,
Oh, okay. They take it a little too hard.
Yikes.
and like separated shoulder kind of thing. So I don't know if pickleball's
It's intense.
It
It's
is.
serious
it
game.
is a little bit too intense for me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
I
a
thought
football
maybe
coach.
Well, I thought maybe pickleball is, I mean, isn't it just stand up ping pong? I mean,
Okay,
I'm
whoa,
gonna
whoa.
probably offend my pickleball.
Yeah, you just
friends
did.
out
I don't know,
Yes.
but I know that there's a committee out there listening to this that's now coming for us.
Yes,
So
exactly.
thanks for that.
It's
You
like
bet.
it's like speed tennis with stand up ping pong kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Well, and I watched the one pros that played it on TV. That was cool. Like John McEnroe, they had a pickleball game.
What?
Oh, wow.
Did you see that?
No.
John McEnroe. Yeah, it was 4 Americans. It was Andy Murray, John McEnroe. Who's the guy that dates? Not Kornikova. I don't know. These are old guys. Anyway, they're all retired tennis players. Never playing pickleball, and
That's
that was
great.
cool.
That is
and they
awesome.
were getting after it pretty good. Me, I played it twice, usually holding a beer in one hand and
There you
Paddle.
go.
I'm a
in the
lefty,
other.
so yeah, exactly.
yeah.
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 So
Chris,
not very graceful.
where did you grow up?
So I grew up in the fine town of Callaway, Nebraska. The Fighting Bears.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, did
Yeah.
you say the Fighting Pears?
Fighting Bears.
Bears. I thought you
Oh
said.
Mean.
gosh.
Yeah, the Fighting Bears.
I was like,
You really were
that's
fighting.
cute.
You weren't just the Bears. You were really the Fighting Bears.
No, we were just the Bears, but
Okay,
I always
I was
said
like,
the Fighting
geez,
Bears.
okay.
Callaway.
Had to add that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And now it's not even it's still a school, but they don't have an athletic program. They are consolidated with Arnold now. So there's South Loop
Sure.
Bobcats.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, grew up in Callaway, went to school at Chadron State, and coached a few years in Nebraska, and ended up in Kansas.
And you're still in Kansas today, right?
Yep.
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 And what do you do? Are you still a coach or are you retired?
Nope. No, I'm a K principal now. So,
Oh, the
Yeah.
big dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, instead of, I did, like when I was coaching football, a lot of people don't think that you see the sun much from like August to November because your head's up your ass most of the time.
Okay.
And now as a principal, it's August to May. I don't. So I really try and get as much sun as I can in June and July, and because in August it'll go right back up there and be all good. So
Well, the good thing about education, Chris, is parents are just wonderful to work with.
Oh, boy.
They make
Yeah.
life easy. They do most of the
Right.
work for you.
Yeah.
So it's really
yeah.
you don't have to do a whole lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in education, sounds like.
I am a librarian at a Catholic school, Chris. So yeah,
There you go.
I feel
Yeah,
your
so
pain.
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't do anything. You
You're
know
right.
your
You're-
librarians.
you know the
They're that's an hour of babysitting for your teachers.
It's the person like you just like, do we really need them or can the kids just go in there on their
but,
own kind of thing? Yeah. Somebody's got to put the books away. I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, you're needed because
Thank you.
you don't know what those books would be like if you weren't in there.
I do know. I've been,
Yeah.
sub for a couple weeks and then, come back. It's like, oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So is that what you studied, obviously, in school? You went into education. Was that what you went in from the
Yep.
get-go? Okay.
Yep, I did. And my dad was a teacher. My mom was a teacher. I didn't know you couldn't take a vacation. I thought you just took vacations in June, July. People would go on vacation in September. Like, what are you doing? You got jobs, don't you? So, yeah.
Right.
So I didn't know any different.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you have any kids? You married?
I am married. And I have my wife, Renee, and we've been married since Chadron State. We met at Chadron. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
And
sweetheart.
and it feels just like yesterday.
Oh,
I mean,
what did you
so,
do?
yeah.
You missed the anniversary or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So,
Uh-huh.
but we have been married for 28 years, and we have a daughter that's the high school volleyball coach here,
Okay.
and a son that will be a junior at Fort Hays State next year.
Oh, wow.
So,
Awesome.
so we are empty nesters. This is our first year of empty nest because he did his first years here.
Oh,
So-
how's it feel? Or like you haven't got that
You
far
know,
yet?
Well, yeah, I thought it'd be really cool, but it really isn't. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of.
I bet your
food in the
house is really
anymore.
clean and food.
Oh,
and
house is
Right,
clean.
yeah.
Or house
Yeah,
is
like-
not. Yeah, food
Yeah.
isn't in
Yeah,
the
like
house.
he came back this summer. He's been back this summer. It's like, Jesus, okay, school's about to start now. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta go.
yeah, exactly.
fun.
Exactly. So, yeah, no, my daughter's married, and he is going to be the head football coach here at Colby this year.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
outstanding.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring him with me to McCook.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
So
deal.
for this event, like people have to buy tickets or what's it like? Could you tell me?
You know, that's a good question. Carrie's taking care of that. I just was told when to show up and be ready to go and don't screw this up. And
I wonder.
yeah, let's not screw it
You know.
up. shall
Yeah,
we?
let's not screw it up.
Especially, yeah, McCook.
yeah. So I think it's at the Copper Mill, I know, and I think
I heard that rumor.
Okay.
I think it starts at 5, maybe with a little social hour, because if you want to talk football, you got to have a few drinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think, then I'm on for like 45 minutes to an hour. So like around like 5:30 to 6:30, something like that. And then call it an evening, I think. So
I like it.
Very good.
and we're going to get out and do some things. Like I know, I don't know necessarily how many people are going to be there. I know, talked to Jim a little bit today, and because I do like to get him up, and I want him to get in a 3-point stance, and I want him to take a hand off, and I want him to do some things. We're not going to go out and work out, obviously, but I do want to get him moving around so they can see those things and get a part of that.
I'll make sure to nominate Lena if you need somebody to demo.
Oh yeah.
There
She's an
you
athlete.
go.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I
She
am.
is an athlete.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So we'll run routes with Lena.
Thank you.
Lena.
Yes.
I'm ready.
We'll run routes with Lena. Yes.
Yep.
Good deal.
Let's go. So you coached high school for a hot minute. Like, what is something that you miss that you don't get from your current job? Like, I feel like coaching, you can probably relate that a lot to being a principal, but or is there something that you like really miss from the coaching side?
There's a couple things. I mean, one is I just miss the practice. I mean, you just get to.
I like
you're all
too.
in one boat. Yeah.
Gross.
You're all in one boat. You're all trying to row it the same way. I mean, it's just practice and be around the kids and having one goal. It's just fun. And every season is different, and the goals are kind of all the same, but it's going to be different the next year. And so I just kind of miss that part. And the second part is you're a lot cooler with the kids when you're the football coach than you're the principal.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I bet you are.
That's valid.
Yeah.
That is a valid point.
No one wants to hang out with the principal. No one cares.
Or even say hi walking down the hallway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you're a football coach, hey coach, what's going on? My jokes are funny and that kind of stuff. Principal, they just look at you like, get out of my way. Like, what do you know? I don't know you. I don't want to talk to you, so so that's different there. But I miss that too, but I just miss hanging out with the kids. I mean, it is fun. Practice is fun. And it's just, the games are fun too, but the practice and just the whole starting the year and setting the goals, then going through them. And it's just a good time. It's just a good time. So
when you were coaching, did you have successful seasons, or what was it like for you when you were?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was fairly up and down.
Okay.
I mean, I've had, when I first started, you get kind of arrogant when you first start into coaching, and I was like, if I ever have a losing season, I'm done. This will suck, And then my what was it, my 5th season, I think I had a first losing season. I was like, well, I ain't quitting this, but
Right.
So you get kind of arrogant at the start, but so I started in Millard. I got one great story. My first coaching year was on a Native American reservation, but we'll go to that in a little bit because that's a good one. That's a good story.
Okay.
But then I went to Omaha and was an assistant coach at Millard North, which is one of the bigger schools in Nebraska. And that was fun. And I got to run with this, was the coach of the sophomores, and then did some things on the varsity and that kind of stuff. And then I jumped and took a head job at Sutherland, Nebraska. And
what year was that?
Yeah. Let's see, Brandon Cool, I replaced him. I don't know when he went to Kearney. I don't know, maybe 01, maybe 2000, 2001.
I graduated in 06 from Hershey.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, you know Ryan Smith then.
Oh, yes. Ryan.
Yeah, see, I lived with him at Shadron.
So
So
Ryan Smith used to be the good-looking history teacher.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Good looking guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So you remember him for different reasons than I do, but
Definitely football.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he's a nice looking cat. And so anyway, so I was there from, I don't know. I think I left. I was only there 5 years, so I might have left your senior year.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, we had some good games with you guys.
Yeah.
So, and then, but I never lost to you. I have to say that because I'm from Southern. You're from Mercer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know. I gotta say it.
We went through some struggles, but
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
And and then I came down here to Colby, and then I coached here for 10 years, and so I've been coached. I coached for 20 some odd years, and then now I'm in my 7th year of this. So, but so this story, my first job was on Native American reservation. My wife hadn't graduated from college, and so I took a job up on Pine Ridge at a middle school there called Wounded Knee District School. And reservation football is just different than football. It's still football, but it's just different. And the reservation is just a different beast. And so we're getting ready to play a middle school game. And the principal comes down and tells me, he's like, "Coach, we got a problem and with the game today." And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" I mean, this is like a little after 11. We play at 4:30. He says, "Come with me." So he walks me out, and we start getting close to the field, and I can just hear all this, I don't know, it's growling, and I don't know. I was like, "What is going on?" And he takes me out to the field. We get out the door, and he goes, "Just look out the door here." And I look out on the field, and there is, and something, I don't know if you know much about the reservation, but there's a lot of wild dogs on the reservation. Mm-hmm. Well, they were all at that football field at that time. And what had happened was we had run out of paint. And so the groundskeepers had went down to the commissary part. The reservation has these places you can go get these. And they had got powdered milk to line the field. Like a dusting. And it had attracted all these. He's like, "Coach, I don't know what we're going to do. Like 3 guys have gotten bit. Like they want to shoot them."
What?
I'm like, "No, we're not shooting these dogs," but no one's going out there. Like, we're done. We're not playing today, obviously.
Yeah.
But like everybody there had to been 15 to 20 dogs. I mean, and they were mad at each other, but they're just, and they didn't, they obviously didn't get the whole field marked, but yeah, they were dogs. There were just dogs everywhere. And growling and biting.
That was very smart, though. They really were to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea. But not great idea if you got wild dogs. And so, and I was like, and so that was that was like game 2.
Oh, God.
All right, well, this is interesting. This is different.
Yeah.
But we're not playing today, and no one's going outside.
I would have loved to have been in the room with the opposing coach when he got the call of, we're not going to be able to play today. There's some dogs.
I think we just went with the whole, we ran out of paint. We're not going to do it.
There we go.
But
didn't want to give him the real story.
Right. But the whole deal was, and it was just like, because I kind of could hear it, and they were just barking and I was like, what is going on? And look out there,
Oh, jeez.
You're not getting near the field.
That's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah. Kind of story. And the guy was like, "Well, they just want us to shoot them." No, we're not shooting a bunch of dogs. Yeah. Like, not doing that either. Like, let's just not play the game. Let's just wait till the paint comes in, not do this again.
Yeah.
Back in your coaching era, did you ever have like a situation that was like you as a coach needed to be upset, or it was a teaching moment, but yet inside you were internally laughing at the situation?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like then later you go in the office with the other coaches and you're like, "Gosh, I could barely keep it straight."
Right. Yeah. So like it was when I was in Sutherland, and it was like, I don't know, 2nd year, I think. And we are running, like we're running sprints or whatever at the end and that kind of stuff. And it's just kind of one of those practices. It's kind of the start. It's hot, but we're not doing great and that kind of stuff. And so I'm kind of getting after him. I'm kind of, and all the coaches are getting. And finally, this one kid is like, he's like, Coach, do you mind if I run? Like, he was kind of in the middle, and he's like, I'm going to go run over there. I'm going to go run that way, like on the end. And I was like, I don't care where you run, just we got to run, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Well, turns out he had to use the restroom. And he did not. He knew everyone was pissed, knew everyone didn't want to leave, didn't want to say to go anywhere. And so he's just down there doing his sprints kind of by himself.
No.
Yeah, just draining himself. And I'm like, ugh. So we get done, and so he doesn't even like coming to the circle afterwards. He's kind of standing back, and I'm kind of like, what are you doing? Get in here. I'm like, whatever. And so then I kind of go by. I'm like, what's up? What's going on? And so he tells me, Dad goes bad. I went in my pants. I did this in my pants. I'm like, okay. Go. You go. I'm going to keep the kids here a little bit longer. You go. And then we get in the coach. I was like, what in the hell just happened? Why could he not just said, I got to go?
Right?
I gotta
There's
go.
a moment there when you're just afraid.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. Like afterwards I was talking to him. I was talking to his parents. Like, I appreciate the whatever, but we're not about that. Like, it's okay. Yeah. And then there was another time in Sutherland too, and I didn't realize this. Actually, when we were playing Hershey, and you could, we had to use the restroom and we couldn't, so we went in the cornfield.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Nice, Hershey.
That's nice.
Yeah. They didn't unlock the bathrooms for you? Real classy.
Well, I don't know what happened there, but anyway,
next
thing I know, it's like, we're getting ready to national anthem. We're getting ready to stuff. And most of my guys are coming out of the cornfield. And everyone's like, what were they doing in there? I was like, I don't think I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
So that just was, because it was just to the, been to the north of the field with their cornfield. Yeah. Yeah. And about 6 of them, 7 of them just go back there. And I'm like, what are these guys doing? Pretty sure they come out. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I know what you're doing. Yeah. So not a great look. Not a great look for us. So.
Well, I mean, you were in Hershey, so do what you are where you
are.
Oh,
they brought you Lena's down. Giving me faces right now. I'm about
they brought
to
you down a level, so it's not your fault.
And Ryan was the head coach. Yeah. Ryan was a football coach. So
yeah, we had Ryan and Todd Westover, maybe I think was a coach.
Yeah, you had Westover after Ryan. Yeah, and then I think Ryan came back.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Chris, I don't know how it works for football, but when you in high school, when you are getting your assistant coaches, are those people you get to pick, or does administration pick them for you? How does that work?
So
good question.
Well, so when I both places my first year, you kind of get who's there. You know what I mean? And then after a year, it's kind of one of those things. Like if you didn't feel like it worked out. I know both in Colby and Sutherland. If it didn't work out, we just kind of had a conversation,
Okay.
One of them, I know in Southern, one guy was just like, yeah, we're just not good. And he had interviewed for the job too. And so I got that. I understood that. Sure. But no, it's not college or anything like that. But after a year, you kind of know, and you can kind of then pick from there. I know my second, I had 4 guys that I had all 10 years with me. We had a coaching staff of 6, and so I had 4 guys who were with me for 10 years. Then I had 2 or 3 kind of every other year kind of come in and come out kind of thing. So
now, again, I only have girls, so I don't, football's a little foreign. But do parents get overly involved with like the coaches in football, or is it because it's like you have 6 to back you up? That doesn't really happen. How does that work?
Oh no, they get after you. I mean, the parents get involved. Like I said, when I got to Colby, it was kind of rough, and they'd lost 31 straight games.
Oh gosh.
And so that first year, we went 1-8, and I think we stormed the field. And I was like, "What's everybody doing?" Well, they hadn't won a game in 30-some games, and so I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean,
yeah.
That's a little much, but anyway, it was great. But that's what I started to do when I first got here. I was like, I guess if they're going to fire coaches every 2 years, whether they're winning or losing, I'm going to at least come in and show them why I do what I do.
Sure.
And if we don't win, hey, at least they know what I do. If they do win, and that's good. I mean, that's the part I think that you want to do is you want to bring parents in and show them what you do, because they're going to get involved, and they're going to they're going to whatever they think is happening in their mind. And so I did a lot of that work with parents. I had an honorary coach come on the sidelines. Like I had the kids pick 9 honorary coaches. In every regular season game, we had an honorary coach, and he could come to any practice, or she. We had a couple moms come to practice, and then I let them talk before the game, and they could be on the sidelines during the game. I did have a couple that I had to be done, like they got on the sideline and were saying stuff. And I was like, no, that's kind of not your role, you know. Right. I had one guy that had headphones on and was listening to other games on the sideline. He come by and he's like, hey, Coach, I think Atwood's beating St. Francis. Okay,
my
guess
goodness.
what? We're down a touchdown to Goodland. So how about, you know, but thanks for the update. You know, so sometimes it backfires, but, you know, you've got so I just did that because parents are, it's their kids. And
wait, so honorary coaches, the players pick these people?
Yep, the players picked them. I always said, okay, so because we have the league football here and middle school football, so I'd say, all right, guys, you know, from your little league football days up to whatever competing, but you guys get together, seniors, you get together. I need 8 sets of parents or 9. My first grade, we were playing 9 regular season games. I needed 9 people that you think are influential in your life to be an honorary coach. And you know, we had some teachers. I reserved my dad. And I had him as an honorary coach. And so, you know, but yeah. And so
that's fun. I like that.
I like that a lot. Yeah. And,
Lena, you should do that for your league.
You should do that for your team.
I don't know if that's legal.
Well, and they come in at halftime too. And like, and again, like when I got here, you know, coaches, like I said, I was their 4th coach. The seniors been there 4 years and I was their 4th coach. And, you know, and again, we didn't start off great. You know what I mean? We hadn't won 31 games, and then we start off 0 and whatever, 4, I think it was. But this guy, he was a big supporter of, he was an honorary coach, and he came in and saw what we did and that kind of stuff. And I know he told me the story. He had a guy come in Saturday and like, what are we going to do now? This coach doesn't seem any better. And he was like, we're going to leave this coach alone. I saw this, this, and this. I heard this, this, and this. It's going to be okay, you know. And so that was a good thing, you know. The one dad that I had to say, nope, you got to go because you're talking, well, that was a bad thing, you know. But it really was good. And you just got to get the, you know. Then I had them come in Saturdays. They could watch film with us on Saturdays, and I did that. My son loved that because we had a bunch of donuts and we go around the sports shop and we watch film. And there for first few times, we had a lot of people come, and then pretty soon, like the second year we did it, you know, we were like 6-2, but no one really wanted to come watch film, so we just had a bunch of donuts left over, and Tobin was like, this is awesome, Dad. Keep ordering all the donuts. We'll just eat donuts all day. I was like, yeah, but we're probably done doing this. So, you know, but you finally realize maybe you built some trust with the community and that kind of stuff. So.
What is it about one of your, like, favorite teams? And I don't know if you coached a lot, if you have certain teams that really just left a mark. What is it about any of those teams that made it special?
You know, a lot of times for me, it's just, you can just kind of tell with groups of kids, like some seasons, you know, you have a great season but you're just like, it's kind of a grind. But there are some, like, I know my second season here in Colby probably was one of my favorite seasons. And it's just, I don't know, from freshman to senior, they were just locked in, fun. They knew when to work, but they knew when to have fun.
Right.
They just, and you know, we did. We qualified for the playoffs. You know, we were 3-6, and then that second year we were 6-2, 6-3, and it just the flip between that, and just the way those guys kind of made that happen, and just realized what they were going to do. And they were just good kids, but they could have fun. You know what I mean? Like I could get on, but I could also laugh with them. And that's what makes it the best, is when, you know, you just got a group of guys that, as long as you're working when you're working, that's great. But if it's time to have fun, or something's funny, or something happens and they're okay to laugh about it and stuff, that makes it good. So, and that's been one of my favorite teams. I've probably, in Colby here, I'll probably have 2 or 3 just teams that were like that. And, one of them, we were 5-4, didn't make the playoffs. And when they were seniors, and by all means, we should have. We should have been a lot better than that. But that group of guys, it was just one of those groups that just, I'd do whatever I could for them, so yeah, it's almost just the relationships with the kids. The wins and losses will come, and sure, you win a state championship or whatever, and you're going to say, yeah, this is the best ever. But really, sometimes that's a grind.
Right.
Sometimes that's a little much. I mean, I did have one season we were 0-9, and I've never coached harder in my life. Now, those kids were great, but I did have a parent come up and say, I talked to so-and-so, and I was asking him, how bad was it this year? And he goes, well, it stinks. We started 11 and it was a senior. He was a senior, and he had 5 sophomore linemen in front of him, and we started 11 sophomores, and he was like, but we got better, and we were okay, and they will be better next year and that kind of stuff. And he goes, but it wasn't a bad deal. Like I had a good football season, and so okay, I didn't, I didn't sleep much, but it is. Kids are different.
So with both of your jobs within coaching and then principal, you clearly deal with parents differently.
Yes.
Yeah. So could you give me, how did you deal with parents as a coach, and then how do you deal with parents now?
Well, I mean, dealing with parents as a coach, like I will always tell them, if you want to come talk to me about, if you want to come talk to me about your kid, I'm going to talk to your kid, because it seems like, for some odd reason, every time I had a conversation as a coach with a kid, they would say, well, please don't tell my kid I did this, because I don't want you to take it out on him. And he wouldn't want me to come and do that and talk to him. Like, well, here's the thing, guys, I'm going to tell your kid, because one, I got to have a relationship with them before I have to have a relationship with you.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to tell them that. And two, you want to come in and talk about, what a shitty coach I am as X's and O's, or I don't understand this. That's fine, but don't come in and attack my character like I'm going to take it out on your kid. Give me a break.
Right.
Like I need that guy more than he needs me. So I'm not going to do that. In principle wise,
you just have to listen.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's pretty cut and dried what the kid did. There's no, hey, the kid pulled the fire alarm. Yeah, he's getting in trouble. Nothing you can do. It's not a judgment of, well, am I not playing your kid or that kind of stuff. But if a parent has a problem with the teacher, it's like, yeah, you just got to listen, and you got to say, okay, well, I can do this and this and this, and I can get back to you and check in on you. So it's a little bit different that way, But if it's talking about discipline, it's totally different. The kid did this, so yeah, we're going to talk about this. And if you're mad at me because the kid did this, well, that's your own fault. We got rules for rules. But as a coach, they're trying to advocate for what they think their kid should be, or da-da-da-da. And it's just different, So.
What do you think, Chris, are the biggest changes that have occurred since the time you got into education till now?
Yeah, and it really, to me, hasn't been the kids that have changed a whole lot. There are different avenues for them that I think takes away from some of the focus. I mean, athletics or activities outside of school, it's harder for kids to make that their thing, because there's just so much more out there for them. I mean, a lot of times, I know we're in the Midwest and that kind of stuff, but the economics, some families need their kids to work now.
Right.
Sometimes the kids want to work now because they want something earlier. One of the things that I never knew, one, because I wasn't smart enough, and two, Cali was too small. I didn't know you could take college classes in high school. Hell, I was lucky to pass my high school classes. So I wasn't, but now we have kids doing that, to do that kind of stuff. And so there's so much more. So one of the things there is just the opportunities for kids. I don't think kids look at as athletics as extracurricular as they used to be.
Sure. Yeah.
I find other things to have fun, or I find other things to get my time, to take up my time. And so that hurts me. That hurts me as an educator, as a kid, that was it. You wanted to get in high school so you could play sports, and kids don't think like that anymore.
Right.
And so that's a big change. And, parent wise, some of it is that opportunity right there. The parents see other opportunities or see different opportunities that they feel like they can earn for their kids. When it really comes down to the kids earning it, you know? So that's another part that I've seen change. But yeah, the biggest thing is there's just so much hell, you can be a TikTok sensation at 15 and not even have to, you know, and that's
right.
And I know there's only 2 or 3 of them out there, but still there's every other kid thinks they can be that kid.
Right.
And
exactly.
So when they come and say, well, I'm going to do this, well, you know, you don't want to say, well, you're an idiot, but you're thinking, come on now, you know, that's not so.
I hadn't even thought about that. And, you know, I feel like I'm in the midst of it. I don't have kids in high school, but I feel like I'm surrounded by kids, and I never thought about what you just said. There are so many more things to occupy their time. I just hadn't even went there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're very good.
I mean, it used to be just, you know, athletics. I mean, in high school you did this and after you did that. And then, and now there's just, they can do anything. So.
Yeah.
But
dang kids, dang computers.
But so this is where I mean, I've had a few good conversations about this, but the opportunities that these, you know, the other opportunities they have besides athletics are basically things to make them grow up faster.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're coming through with, they're coming into college with 30 credit hours. And so like, if they really go down, you know, or where they're working, if they really go down like the path of life, they're going to get their 4-year degree within 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some students aren't even 21 at that time.
Yeah.
So instead of, unless they move back home with mom and dad, because that's basically what their parents are setting them up for, then they should be going out in the real world and getting a job. And they haven't even had their first beer yet legally.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And you think about that, like if you can get, because we do have kids, and it's a great accomplishment.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying
to
it's
get
bad.
their associate's degree.
Before
they even graduate.
They'll graduate from CCC on Saturday, and then they'll graduate from Colby High School on Sunday. But then when they go to like K-State or Fort Hayes or whatever, they're going into their first class as a junior. Well, all those kids are 20. 21.
Exactly.
You're 18. You've never been away from home. And those professors are like, listen, you should be, you know, you're in the second year of college or whatever. No, you're not. No, they're not. They're 18. This is their first time away from home. They're going to screw this up. You know,
that's the biggest thing I've really realized this year. And I'm like, unless you're going to be a doctor and you know you're going to be a doctor at 16, 17, whenever, you know, your senior year of high school, I'm like, it's not really setting them up for success. Like, unless you really want your child to be out in the workforce at such a young age.
And I'm correct.
Never thought about that.
You coach at the college, correct? Yeah. So how hard is it to recruit when you have a girl that said, hey, I want to play volleyball, but I already have 17 hours.
Well, and for volleyball, it's great because they can leave after their second or their third semester.
Gotcha.
Sure. Which is great for volleyball, but for the other sports, it's tough. And like a lot of them they're coming in with so many credits, and it's like, listen, like, yikes. You know?
Like I'd like to develop you for 2 years, but legally I'm only going to have you for, like you said, 3 semesters.
Yeah. Well, and then so that, you know, it's I'll get off my soapbox.
No, but how does that affect their eligibility for being able to?
So like for volleyball, they leave in December after that semester, and then they go on to their new school and they can do off season, quote unquote, with their new team, which is great for them. But then again, like they're going to be, you know, young. They're going to be babies.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
hadn't even thought of that.
And I can say this because, you know, my daughter was the assistant coach here at CCC for volleyball. Volleyball's a racket. I mean, it's corrupt.
Ooh,
okay. Yeah. They, do you guys run a 6-2?
It just matters. We haven't ran one of those for a hot minute.
Well, you can't because that's 8 girls on the court.
Yeah.
There's only supposed to be 6. How do you run a 6-2? Because the other one's a 5-1. Right. I get that. There's 6 girls.
Yeah.
But then you call a 6-2. That's 8 girls. I mean, we can do this all day. Volleyball is corrupt. It's fun to watch, but I don't know how you get through that stuff.
Right.
Because that's opposite of football.
Oh, yeah.
If you run a 5-2, that's 5 down linemen, 2 linebackers, everything. It's pretty simple, but volleyball throws out this whole 6-2.
Right. I see what you're saying. It
doesn't work.
Well, and it's, for me with a 6-2, The only way it works is if that 6'2" is all the same people instead of like switching out people. Because the biggest thing with volleyball and like any other sports, it's all about like team collaboration.
Oh yeah.
So like, unless they're like really like collaborating, it's hard to bring in another player to switch out for another player to run like a 6'2" or whatever. Like they've got to be really good with their minds and their team.
Oh yeah. And I try and do that with my daughter's team. I'll walk by and be like, hey, I think you guys need to run a 6'2" or whatever. And then I'll talk about what's your defense.
You're just throwing out lingo. You must have went to a volleyball dad clinic.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because I listen to my daughter say all this stuff. And so I just walk by them and say, well, I don't like your platform on that bump. And I just walk off. They're like, what the hell? And see, that's what I want these moms to do too. But but I mean, you hear the lingo, you just say it out there.
Right. Yeah.
So. Yep.
So your daughter is going to face off. You guys will see each other then.
No, she's high school.
Oh, high school.
She's high school now. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, when my daughter was playing volleyball, I maybe saw her. Thank God she played club volleyball. But
because volleyball and football, same season.
Yeah. I maybe saw her play high school volleyball. I'd see her play at Sub-State. I'd see her play. I bet I saw her play in her 4 years, maybe 10 times in high school. Now I've watched her play a lot of club and the other fun, but that's no fun because that's, like Super Bowl Sunday and we're a club tournament. That's not how we do this. That's not how we do this.
Anytime I went to a club tournament, if I had a beverage that could spill on me, it was getting hit by a ball. I think there was one weekend coaching club. I think every drink I had, I wore.
Oh. Well, yeah.
I'm like, where are the balls coming right at me?
Well, yeah, and you go to those big tournaments like the one in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
Crossroads.
And you hear, Crossroads, and you hear balls all night long.
Yep.
And there's a million courts, and you're just trying to dodge, and it's a mess.
Chris, you and I are probably from the generation that when we were in high school volleyball and football were played on the same night.
Same night.
Yes. Exactly. The good old days.
Yeah. Yes. It used to be like that back when I went to high school.
Come on now.
They did. It was volleyball first on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was Thursday volleyball and then Friday football when you were in high school.
I feel like it had to have been changed by this little baby by the time she got to school.
Gosh.
I think that's the thing that has changed from the perspective of just watching it all happen, that now people are at a sporting event every single night of the week. When it used to be, you just showed up on Friday night, hence the thing, Friday Night Lights, and then you had your volleyball game, football, and then it was over.
Yep.
Varsity JV all in one night. Like maybe not football, but volleyball was, like they'd usually be.
And that's how you planned your travel.
Exactly.
You got to travel here, and then you go get dressed at the end of the first set of the varsity game. You better be dressed by that because it might only go 2. And I know back then it was only 3, but you had to, you couldn't score on every, what do you call it, rally score. You didn't have rally
back
score.
Back then, one volleyball game took 8 hours. So you had plenty of time to change.
Exactly. Yeah. So, so you did that, and again, it kind of comes back to now there's an opportunity for the other things. There's it used to be Friday night was set aside for it all.
Yep.
And now there's other things going on.
Yeah.
So
pickleball.
Yeah, pickleball.
That's right. Pickleball.
Yep.
Stand up ping pong. The tennis coach is going to kill me. If she ever hears this, she's going to kill me that I said that.
All right, Chris. So you've never listened to our podcast. Again, we like to ask a few things at the end. So first and foremost, our podcast, in case you haven't ever, looked it up, it's Coaching Caffeine
and Comedy.
Nice.
Comedy.
Yeah.
So what is your caffeine of choice?
Okay, so it is Great Value Grape Energy Drink. It's basically water. It's caffeine water.
What?
Really?
You saw me. I'm a big guy.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. And so I, drinking bunch pop and things like that, like I'll end up, with diabetes if I keep that stuff so much sugar.
I've never heard it called that.
Yeah, the diabetes. Yeah, so I drink this. I'm addicted to caffeine, and so it's grape. Grape's the best. Yeah, grape flavor's the best for me. But they got all kinds: peach, mango,
is it
watermelon.
Clear?
No. Looks like Kool-Aid.
Lena's looking it up right
now. You go to your local Walmart.
I know.
It's Great Value Energy Drink. Oh. Loaded with caffeine, but it's just water. Oh, it's amazing. Now, I also have high blood pressure, so my doctor said you can only have 3 of these a day. Well,
3 a day.
He doesn't know me. I have 3 by noon. I love it.
My goal is to get 1,000 milligrams in before noon.
Yes.
So
yes, and who doesn't want goals? And no one likes a quitter.
Exactly.
No one likes a quitter. So I'm not going to quit it.
Energy drink mix. Oh, is it the drink mix?
Yeah, it's a mix. Yeah, okay. I don't do the liquid. You got to go with the powder.
Okay.
Okay. I do. I've had this in the lemonade version, but you do the grape. Okay.
Peach mango. Yeah. I'm getting it. Okay. I'm putting it on here. Oh, it's only $2.42.
Yeah, that's
life changer. Life changer.
Game on.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wowzers. Are you a reader, Chris? Are you currently reading anything? I mean,
no.
I
got love to, I've been in teaching for I don't know how long now, and are you a reader, whatever. I think the last book I read was Belichick's book, and that was a long time ago. That was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Listen, I like a good comic book every once in a while.
There you go.
I know they call them graphic novels now.
Yes.
I don't.
Garfield,
it's a comic book.
Garfield.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
A graphic comic book?
Or a comic book.
Graphic novel? You don't even know what a comic book is?
I mean, I do, but like from the 80s.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, but now they call them graphic novels.
Yes.
I didn't even know they still made them.
Like Dork Diaries or...
Yeah, they make a good comic book still. So do I read comic books? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. What about watching? Do you watch anything? Are you a binger?
Yeah. So right now, Apple TV's kind of got me hooked on Hijack. That's a really good show. We went through the whole quarterback thing on Netflix.
Sure. Okay.
That was really good. What's the other one we were watching on Netflix? Yeah, I'm a binge watcher. And what sucks is like Apple TV, like this is weekly, Hijack's weekly, so I got to wait a whole week. I kind of like to just watch them all and then be done.
Yep.
And I'll take the 8 hours and get real fat with nacho cheese and popcorn and not pop, but grape water all day long and just watch them. That's what I'd like to do. So I'm a little upset that it's Hijack's weekly thing, but football's coming on here in about a month. And so then I'll be just kind of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
another thing we do is we say someone that we are thankful for.
Whoops, I lost you.
I said another thing that we do is say someone that we are thankful for. So in this moment today, who is someone you are thankful for?
Oh, and I always will be, is I'm thankful for Renee, my wife. I mean, and you guys, I mean, coaches, wives, in your case, coaches, husbands, you're both married, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Coaches, husbands, coaches, wives, anything like that. I mean, she's been through or heard more than she probably should ever needed to, and good and bad, I'm sure. But, and just the time that it takes away from that and that kind of stuff. And she buys all the Christmas presents. I'm just as surprised on Christmas Day as they are. The kids all know it. Mm-hmm. She knows it. Mm-hmm. If we're going to go on a family trip, she's going to want to do it. So I'm thankful for her. She has raised 2 fine kids, and I've been along for a great ride. So,
Good job.
I'm going to say he just brought up like Hershey. So I'm going to say 2 women from Hershey High School. So my volleyball coach, Amy Byer, and then my music instructor, Teresa Roeder. And those 2, they were just great women, and still somebody now that I have like a relationship with today. And I don't know, do a lot of people do that anymore? Do they still talk with like their high school people?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like my high school wrestling coach was an usher in my wedding.
Oh really? Oh, That's awesome.
And he said he would only do it if I had to call him by his first name. I couldn't call him Coach Rigler or Mr. Rigler. He's like, I'll only do it if you call me Kenny. And he was just one of those guys. I mean, so it was a bunch of college guys.
Yeah.
But I just had to have him because when my folks went through a divorce and things like that, he just was the guy.
Yeah.
He was my guy. He was friends with my dad because he taught with him. And,
awesome.
Friends with my dad, then obviously wasn't friends with my mom. But anyway, just one of those guys. But yeah, I had to call him Kenny. So
that's great.
But yeah.
That's awesome. You, Lena?
Oh, well, since we're talking to Chris and Colby, I have some great family. Jenny and Paul Niblock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are amazing people, and they had great kids who are now having kids.
Yes.
Yeah, but Paul, I have 31 first cousins, and Paul's one of the closest ones.
Goodness.
Yeah, the closest ones to my age, and they are just great people. So I'm thankful for them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chris. And we're going to find out more about this event that you have coming up, and we'll share it on the old book face and all those things.
Yeah. August 11th.
ladies, thank you. This was awesome. And I'm going to tell you this, I will now be a podcast fan.
Yes.
There you go.
I will get on this podcast. I'm not even going to listen to this one. No one wants to listen to themselves. So I'm going to listen to other podcasts.
No, you have to listen to your own.
Yes.
But awesome.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah.
You bet. Yeah. And are you ladies coming? Do you know? Are you coming to this?
Yeah, I got to talk to Carrie to make sure she gets us a seat or two.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. This would be great. Yeah. This would be awesome. All right.
We'll catch you later.
Hey, have a good one. Thanks.
You too. Bye. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
That was good.
And do you have his song that he would go out to if he was
yeah. I looked up a different one. Yeah. Hold on.
Well, this will air hopefully before his August 11th date. So we'll be making sure of that. So make sure you look up information about how to see Chris
we will definitely post it.
Yes. Gardner out at the Copper Mill to learn football lingo.
Mm-hmm. Lena.
Yes.
Tell me something else.
Well, one, I like that he was thankful for coaches and husbands of coaches and wives and coaches, because that's one thing we often talk about is how much time it takes away from your family. So it was fun to have him on. And now that he's even, out of coaching, but still in education and still being a part of kids' lives, that how important that is, and how we all have either teachers or administration that see our kids every day once the school year starts, which will be starting back up for all of us soon. So think of your educators and your administrators who are getting back to the grind. Prepare your children to start listening to other people, because they probably didn't listen to you all summer. So let's be real. Every time my kids see somebody and someone says, "What have you been doing this summer?" They're like, "Chores. All we've been doing is chores." Yeah. And that's for you, Kenlin. Sending you out to space. That was a little loud.
And thank you for listening. I found it to another episode of Coaching, Caffeine, and Comedy. And I'm your host, Hayley Kobza.
And I'm Lena.